Probably the nicest moment in life is if somebody gives you something and you feel that he put it himself into your situation. What could this person love to receive? Today I tell you all the objects in the violin world which are nice to give away for all the budgets, but which are also useful and precious, because giving here garbage, no need. Then it's better not to give anything. Stay tuned and I show them one by one. Hello, this is Edgar from Cremona, Italy, and I'm a violin maker and trying to make as many people happy out in this world. Yeah? So let's start from budget 0 to 5 euro. It's like 0 to 5 US dollars, more or less. Come on. The first object would be something from my shop. This seems to be a normal pencil, but has here eraser and has here Edgar, Russ, violincellomaker.com. For people who are in the violin world playing, you would see what is just a pencil, but it's very crucial, because if you just have here your notes in front and you try and play, you have to make some signs, and damn, you made a mistake, then you have to cancel it away. This seems to be nothing, but it's actually very nice. 3 euros to sign up at my Patreon channel. Now comes another great idea, because otherwise you say Edgar wants to sell only his stuff. 4 euro. Wow. This one is a nice one. This one is the violin pipe, and you don't know how to tune your violin? I told you. You know, you can at least tune your instrument with this one. 4 US dollars or 4 euro online. Great gift between 10 to 15 euro US dollars. Titanium tailpiece gut. It's a high-tech small piece like this. This one is titanium, yeah? And it's from Strutpad. Then we have a Kevlar tailpiece gut where you have to make the knot, so it's a little bit stronger sound, a bit more freer and softer sound. This is something which could be a great option. You can sound increase your friends or your violin with such a nice gift, which costs between 10 to 15 euro/dollars. Does already a lot. And then we have another tiny object from Strutpad. Always, since you love these high-tech gifts on violins, we have 3 measurements: small, medium and large. The titanium strap bed and pin for the violin. You can use it also on a viola. And we fit it here, even on my master violin, but even here on the violin of Min, you have it here. And it is inside. I even made a video. Such a piece could make such a big difference. Or you could give something between 15 to 20 euro US dollars. Then I know what you could give. I would give, if I would be in you, probably a fine tuner. There are several ones. There's the traditional one, if you want just stay on the traditional one and you just put it on, and this one works on every instrument. And then we have the tiny one. It's a little bit more an issue, depends on how thick your tailpiece is, and if you go on my webpage you will see that it could be that you probably need some advice and you have to watch another video how to fit it perfectly to your tailpiece. It's very great sounding. Also, the other one is already increasing. This one is just a super trooper fine tuner. It's actually easy if you're a little bit a handy guy, but if you just say, and then I don't feel like jumping into something like this, and take the other one. But this one would be a great gift. Always within the 20 euro dollar range. The tuner. Yep. This one here, this one is just a great one. Finally come to this nice tuner. You have a whole box of it, and I love them because you turn them on, you have a nice display, and once you're in the right tune, it becomes all green. So very quick, you just immediately see, oh, between 20 and 25 euro US dollars. We have a lot of gifts. Go online and you will see there hundreds of rosins, and you just pick one and you read a little bit and take one. If you just want one heart shape, then you have to, of course, take it from my online shop. Otherwise, you take a Pirastro or a super sensitive for people who are allergic. It's this very synthetic one. Another great idea is just a violin stand. Now, you would say violin stand and violin stand are the same. There are some very small ones, always from König and Meyer, a German company. It's not just crap and plastic. It's a real serious instrument stand. Now this one here is tiny one. If you want one which is really serious, this one is slightly heavy. And the first time I purchased it actually was in Tokyo. Since then I have them and I didn't even see them before. And they're always from König and Meyer. This is stable. And probably it's made for electric guitar because here is narrow, but violins and viola stand here very stable. Even if you are showcasing your violin, this is great. This is the only one which I would say is Edgar approved. For that price range, I can give you this one here. Looks like a small shot, is completely dangerous, and don't do it, don't drink it. It's a solvent. Seems to be a crazy thing. I've never seen it. You can find string oil, which they sell you some oil to put on the strings. Nobody needs oily strings, especially if you play, you don't want that oily. You want it completely grease and dirt free. And this is something you can only achieve by a good solvent. And with a microfiber cloth, you can just take it, you pass over. You will be surprised. You will see how much dirt you get out of these strings. And then you will say, well, it's only cleaning. No, it's not only cleaning. You clean the strings. Watch out that you don't touch the varnish of the instrument and everything. You play, it's wow. It's just like a new set of strings. For the same price, we give you also the instrument cleaner, we call it. It's a polished wax base with wax and oil, and then you can polish the entire instrument for your varnish. Between 25 and 50, the box here from Kuhn, just the shoulder rest. This is what I would suggest you the best sounding one. It's a very simple one. There are a lot of other shoulder rests. The collapsible, if you don't fit with this one into your case, the collapsible could solve that problem. But the Kuhn original is packed like this. They even made now a new one, but this is here the one which I would suggest is costs little for what it actually gives, doesn't slip, doesn't disturb, doesn't destroy the instrument. This is a great one. Next thing would be a music stand within 50, but not just a plastic lousy one, a real one. This is the music stand which we use here in our workshop. You can hear it's all metal. It's really stable. I think we got them from Thomann, but probably on the internet, eBay, Amazon, wherever you will find them. Between 50 and 100 euro or US dollars, we have a lot of things. So it really depends if you're more, let's say, the fancy guy and you want to have a nice perfume. I made one years ago, a violin eau de parfum. Enjoy the secret. It's just a perfume, a super great one. Okay. Yeah, this is violin, the eau de parfum. It's like a window which puts you into another world. There is vanilla at the very last end, and in between wood, rosin, the whole thing of violin making, everything you can. Took us years to put two masters into one bottle. But it's not the only violin which you get under 100. You can also get a Chinese-made violin. Ostrega.
Ustrega is a regional exclamation from northern Italy, particularly popular in Veneto and Lombardy. It's used to express surprise, amazement, or even mild frustration, similar to wow, oh my, or geez in English.
Now this one, we broke at the moment the scroll. No, you can get the Chinese violin. You can get it on eBay. Now this one here, we did all kind of things. We even cut off the scroll, but if you have, let's say, an idea and you want, let's say, give a violin to somebody, or you want to make a painting on a violin and then give that to someone, that's something, you know, for 100 euro, 100 US, easy. Yeah, you just purchase the violin and then you probably do your own things, and then you start already to being a violin maker. This would be another option. 100 euro or US dollars is more or less like a set of great strings for a violin. For instance, what I use is dynamo and Peter Infeld. These two strings are the ones which I use at the moment the most. And these two strings cost under 100 and are great ones. A nice gift. Strings, always good. And now at that point, pulling up these strings, you can pull them up and pull them up. In my violin making academy, you can purchase specific courses, and there is also a course just to learn how to pull up the strings. If you look at all these courses, within 150 you even can find, let's say, a sound adjustment course, or even more things, but this would be a really good idea. Within 250 euro you even get the Kuhn 7. It's the latest shoulder rest. I asked them if they could send me one, but they're completely sold out, and for me they don't have. Probably they are annoyed that I make here a serious review of their new shoulder rest. I'm not big enough, and since I'm not big enough, subscribe to this channel that we become big enough, and then they will send me all these items. We go up to 500 euro US dollars. You can, let's say, give a bow, but not just a bow. You know, you can find bows for 99. This one is a carbon fiber bow, but it's made really in a super nice way. When you hold it in your hand, you can understand that this is not a toy. This is already something serious. For 399, you get a carbon fiber bow. Yes, it is mass production, but it is a really good one. Compared to a wooden bow, you have to spend much more in a wooden bow to achieve this quality. And I imagine even if your friend has already 1 or 2 or 3 bows, they would appreciate if you give them a bow like this. It's a pleasure to play it. And another very great gift within the 500, I think it's even less than 400, and you find them. I saw on an American page StewMac for 250, and on Thomann it's 399, and you find different ones. But the one from Thomann I like is 399, and I read it very carefully. It's all the way it should be. A violin which you can build or finish yourself. You have to glue the purfling, you have to close the body, you have to put in the neck, but it's almost finished, but you still have to complete the violin. And for 399, there are all the resin already inside, so you can mix them up with alcohol, and you can even varnish your own violin, bridge, strings, everything included. It's a great idea. It probably won't be a great sounding violin, but maybe that would be also a good idea to buy one like this and try to make out of this one a great sounding violin. Who knows if we could do that? You want to give something serious and not this lousy stuff. Oh, this is all crap. You want to give something serious, then a great gift made in Cremona. It's a violin case. This is the 1.8. It's a very particular shaped violin case. It is made out of wood, made here in Cremona next to the hospital. Within 5,000 euro and US dollars, you can give away and make somebody happy with a Scala Perfetta violin. A violin which is made in Europe, this machinery, finished, varnished and set up in my workshop. So yes, it is a economic, but still costs already something. It's not for free, but a great sounding instrument for, let's say, beginners or people who don't want to play on a Chinese instrument. And the best part of it is, if you're a little bit insecure if this is the right instrument, you don't lose a single coin on it, except the consumption tax if you're a European resident. Because if you decide that this is not enough for you anymore, you just can give it back to me, and the net price I take off for something else you buy in my workshop. So even if you own it and you play for 5 years and then you give it back to me, I just look up and I know exactly how much you paid for it, and it's just like a gold coin. It has a stable value. As long as I live, and you know that I become at least 120 years, this one is the deal. Believe me, this is my promise. If you have a friend who is in this violin world, I think sooner or later they should come and visit us here in Cremona. Cremona is a very small town. In Hong Kong, probably only one building has so many people as we are living here in Cremona. But Cremona is unique, is world known worldwide from everybody that it's the capital of violin making. We're here living like in a museum, okay? And Stradivari is not a fantasy like in most areas in the world. Here it is a person which has lived here, and when you come, you can walk among these old areas and rows, and you see the grave of Stradivari, you can see the tools of Stradivari, you can see his handwritten notes he made while he was working on his templates on sheets of papers. For 5,000 you can make a trip to Cremona easily if you don't fly first class. Come on. Within 10,000, you have to come to Cremona. Go to all the violin makers in town, test all the violins, get to know them. All my friends from Varazzani, Tonarelli, Grisales, and Vladimir Kubanzi, and whatever, you know, see them, try them, talk to them, breathe the air in their workshop, and then come to mine, see what I have. We have always a few instruments in this price range between 5 to 10, but within this price range, more or less, you get the Linea Macchi, which is an instrument which is made in my workshop with all of us together. So it's not a master-made instrument, but an instrument which is made here in my workshop with all the specs and all the specifications how I consider an instrument should be made, handmade in my workshop. Come, test it and compare it with all the other ones. If the other ones are better, certainly buy the other ones. Yeah, this is my promise. This one is nice, Stradivari Linea Macchi. We usually always put on this box wood fitting, but if you want something different, just let me know. But this is the deal. This is a nice Stradivari, beautiful, equilibrated, great sounding, good responding, professional instrument. You could make a living with such an instrument. Everybody could make a living with such an instrument. Yeah. Between 10 to 50,000, you have a lot of options. And then it's more a question, where do you want to go? To whom do you trust to give your amount of money? And then it's a question if you want to go for a Marco Dotti, a Mina Mazzolari, Edgar, Russ, you get a good option of great sounding, contemporary, modern-made instruments. And here in town you have Stefano Cogna, you have other makers which I really appreciate how they work, Luca Salvadori, very different qualities, Vladimir Kubanzi, all the makers you have here in town, they all work within this price range. Even if it's a violin, a viola, or a cello, you will find what you actually look for. Now, people always say, nah, you know, it's not antique and I don't know, but years have passed by, and in the past 15 years, I would say, there has been changed a lot and the quality has raised a lot. So nowadays, for this price range, if you say you want to spend 30,000, people know already, damn, you are serious and you want to get something well done, and then they give you only specific instruments. Yeah, that's a great option as a gift. This is not enough. You want to spend some more for more money at the moment. I would suggest you, as a serious violin maker, let's go together and search for something serious, and probably a very reasonable instrument is something, I don't know if we fit inside with famous violin makers from the 60s, because a Poggi, Garimberti and stuff like this is already, the budget is tight. But out of the 70s, Italian-made instruments, Milano, Bologna, Firenze, Venice, whatever, you know, yeah, we could find already something serious, well-made, but you have to put down some money, yeah? That you for 100,000 find something from the 17th century, forget it, okay? If you don't want to risk and you want something serious, I am famous for building contemporary made instruments. You can see me working, you can come and double check, and it's my pleasure to make something specifically for you. Let's say you want to give away an outstanding decorated instrument. At the moment I have a request for somebody who wants to get his violin decorated with some rubies and a little bit of gold here and there and some gold dust in the varnish. This is something which I think is really sparkling, and there is no limit. At the moment I have the osmium violin, which is a violin which I have created with crystalline osmium decorated, and this is at the moment on sale for 5.8 million. Too much? You say, I can get already a Stradivari Guarneri? I have a Guarneri at the moment from Korea, a very famous one. I don't want to tell you which one it is, but I can arrange it, a viewing. At the moment, a serious instrument, which is published in these violin reference books. This is a serious instrument, a Guarneri del Gesù, 14 million euro. So you have a little bit idea for how many millions you have to top up. I really hope you like this video, these nice gift ideas. Every budget for everyone is included, and it's worth its money on the long run. You make somebody happy, and maybe only you sell yourself, but this is a great option to give something nice. Thanks for watching, subscribe, tell your friends, see you next time, bye bye.